What is the worst thing your friend relative did to get attention? My dad's first cousin's second wife, giving you all that context to properly distance myself from this horrible woman I share no blood or bond with, lived in the same hometown as me and worked at our elementary school as an aide. I'm long out of the school at this point, but knew her as a faculty member. It came out a couple years ago that she was impersonating her 13-year-old daughter on Instagram to sext with other 13-year-old boys in her class. She was literally taking nudes of the young girl and sending them out to children as her. The daughter didn't find out until a boy came up to her in class and showed her the conversations with her own explicit pictures. Absolutely despicable. The daughter reported her to administration and she was arrested. Her reasoning was, quote, to make her daughter more popular. So disgusting to involve your own daughter in your ploy for attention from minors. I think she's in prison now, but we don't talk to them anymore for obvious reasons. Friend of a friend, our senior year, called in a bomb threat. He wanted to do something so epic that had be remembered. Almost 30 years later, I still remember him as the dude who scored a suspension his senior year and had to spend a 5th year in high school. My ex-wife staged a fake pregnancy for April Fools. Instead of it being just one day of April Fools, she turned it into a week-long prank. All her friends and family sent her money, gifts, and guidance for the fake baby. I told her not to do the prank because it's mean, but she didn't care. Thought it was funny and to test how naive people were. After about a week, she finally said it was a prank and kept all the money and gifts. Her family didn't talk to her for a few months after that and her friends dropped her. Anyways, one of the reasons why she's my ex. Girl I went to high school with. The cheerleading coach committed suicide. The girl broke into her house, put on her jewelry and clothes and took pictures posing as the dead body. Classmate in high school faked a bomb threat that got classes called off for the day while investigators raided every classroom checking for explosives. None were found and the call got traced back to him, and he was presumably kicked out as we didn't see him the following semester. My friend staged a fake breakup on social media, complete with dramatic screenshots and sob stories, just to get sympathy likes. A cousin of my best friend at the time, 1999, became close to me for a summer, knew who I had a crush on for my entire teen life, encouraged me to profess my love for him and ask him out. Took months of encouragement and I did it. Turned out that she was secretly dating him the entire time. She apparently told him that she had cancer and only had a year to live. The sheer insanity really shook me in my early adulthood. Pretended to be me on a Facebook account and messaged herself as me saying that I was using my BF to get over an ex, and she took a screenshot of it and sent it to him. He broke up with me and didn't tell me until we became friends again a few months later. My cousin's uncle, not my dad, was visiting her. He went upstairs and was gone for ages. She went looking and found him lying naked on the bed unresponsive. Called an ambulance. They came out and he tried to pretend to be in a coma because he lost his job, started gambling and got in debt, and some people were looking for him. My ex-male insinuated she had cancer every time she couldn't have her way. If you couldn't make a family dinner, she had news she wanted to share from her hospital visit. That kind of thing. She also tried to stop the wedding by faking a medical emergency for which an ambulance had to be calked. Right in the middle of the ceremony. Fuck that bitch. I sometimes Google for her obituary, hoping one day soon I'll find it. Told the newspapers that the people helping her out on the emergency line was rude and was putting her in danger. Ended up in a national paper, the recordings popped up. Guess who was rude and unhelpful and also drunk? My cousin faked a proposal at my grandma's 80th birthday party just to get Facebook likes. Classy. He pretended to be deaf. He thought all deaf people were mute and tried to communicate using sign language and the Notes app on his phone. My brother pretended to have a back problem until the doctor pulled my mother aside and told her that he was clearly faking. We were extremely poor and could not afford doctors. We probably spent our rent money just to get the doctors to talk to him, and I bet it was years to pay off all the bills. My sister was maybe worse than that by calling me, crying, telling me that our mother had forced her to abort her baby. After an hour of consoling her on the phone, I called my mother to yell at her. My mother responded, "What the hell are you talking about? She's sitting right here, big as a whale." So I told my mom to give my sister the phone and immediately said, "What the fuck?" And she explained that she was just bored and wondering how I'd react if that had happened. I might have a few that include my MIL. 1. She vomited during our wedding cake tasting. 2. She passed out when I was trying on wedding dresses. 3. She decided during our reception dinner she could no longer walk upstairs. She got put in a chair and carried up the stairs. She has done stairs before and after this. 4. The day of our wedding she decided she needed to be in a wheelchair and only the groom was accepted to push the wheelchair. 5. At the wedding reception she gave a speech. She said her older son was unfortunate as he just got divorced and wished he could be more like her younger son getting married. She then proceeded to say if anyone in attendance was rich, she was single. 6. When my husband and I bought our house, she came in and said it was all wrong. Then said she was having some financial troubles with her house and left all emotional. Upon my husband researching, there were no financial issues. 7. We were all having spaghetti one night and she kept putting it on her shirt and looking around to see if anyone would notice say anything. I kept my mouth shut. This was all over a decade ago, and her behavior has gotten much better. A friend once fake cried about a breakup just to make her ex jealous. Turns out, they hadn't even broken up yet, just wanted the drama. This girl I used to be friends with had multiple fake pregnancies during our senior year of high school. Lucky me, I had mostly distanced myself from her at the time, but it was infuriating watching how she got people to fawn over her for every fake pregnancy and subsequent miscarriage story. She also got one of our mutual friends arrested and sent to juvenile hall for falsely accusing him of assault just because she felt like it. She was a nightmare. When I was a freshman in high school, my friend and her 2 older brothers had a house party. Well, she and her brothers drugged me. They put their little brother's anti-seizure medication in my beer. They did that so her second oldest brother could sleep with me. Luckily that did not happen because one of the brother's friends thought it was fucked up. Needless to say, I was not her friend after that one. My childhood bestie wore a white, backless sundress and a white flower in her hair at my father's funeral. He 27 self-harmed, then sent me a video with no caption. When I called him out for being immature, inconsiderate, and generally just saying like, hey, don't do that, I have a history of self-harm, and it was very triggering, he flipped out saying I was a bad friend and it was a cry for help. I told him to just be a mature adult and message me that he needs some support right now. Later on he sent me another snap just labeled single life, which I didn't respond to, and he once again flipped out. Blocked him after that one. Fuck that. I don't need that in my life right now.